What's going on, everybody? This is Living in Arizona Now, and today we are going to talk about making friends out there in Phoenix, Arizona. Why? Well, this is one of the most common asked questions that I get from people who are new to Arizona. They say, how do I meet people? So they move here to Phoenix, they move to Tucson, they move to Arizona, and then they get here and they're like, hey, I'm happy, but I don't know anybody. So then they start to realize they need to meet people. So this kind of comes in a chronological order, I guess you could say. First comes work, then comes friends. So if you're moving out here and you don't know anybody, the first thing you're going to want to do is make new friends, or hopefully you already know somebody. But if you go months upon months upon months without really making any solid human interactions with other people, you tend to, not enjoy your experience out here. So that's why we're actually talking about this on this live stream here. Let me get this over here so I can see what also is going on. So thanks to everybody who hit the like button. We got 4 people already hitting the like button, 5 people, and 14 concurrent viewers. So let's go ahead and talk about how to make friends when you come out to Arizona, or anywhere really. But the reason this is an issue is because people want to make friends, right? So you can go on to the internet and type it in. WikiHow will have examples of this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this into how this actually works in Arizona. So what they're saying is finding places to make new friends, joining a club. So it says join a club to meet new people, volunteer. So all these things I'm going to make relatable to you here in Arizona, not just use a WikiHow article to talk about how to make friends, but try connecting with people you already know, making the first move. So maybe being a little bit more outgoing, making eye contact and smile. But also they say, try conversation starters. Be a little bit more conversational. So instead of being against conversation, be a little bit more easygoing with the small talk to get to know somebody, and maybe be a little bit more ears. So here's what we're going to talk about on this subject a little bit more deep. First place that I'm going to recommend you guys check out is going to be Facebook. Now, there's plenty of groups here on Facebook that you can go to, but I use this as an example, Arizona Hiking Group. So find things that you guys are interested in, okay? So let me go to this screen real quick and talk about this. Okay, so go to, this is just one example. There's many different groups, but join a group related to something that you want to be a part of, and basically an outdoor activity. Something that's indoors obviously is fun, but when it's hot, but mostly you want to be doing outdoor activities. So hiking, kayaking, Arizona Adventure. There is a group literally dedicated to Arizona Adventure on Facebook. Thanks to 18 people with the likes. If this is obviously related to you, let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas. Also, I will shout you guys out and say what you guys have for tips. But these groups, what happens is you guys go out, you do some fun stuff together, and you build up camaraderie, but there's no pressure to like walk away making any friends. So nobody really feels any pressure, so everything is developing naturally. Whereas if you go to these places that are specifically designed for making friends, it can be a little bit awkward. There can be pressure. People don't really necessarily want the pressure from that. So what they ultimately want is just someone who can listen to or just something to do outdoors with people in a fun experience outside of work, right? So those groups like Arizona Hiking, Arizona Adventure, obviously Living in Arizona Now, we have a Facebook group right here. We're also going to start talking about some meetups and some things that people can do to get together to have fun and make friends without any pressure, because you don't want to be in a position where you're like, oh geez, I got to walk away from this with a friend, right? But this Arizona Adventure group right here, if you go right here, let's see. Oh, I'm in one of these Arizona Adventure groups, but they're always doing something, and they're saying, hey, we're going to be going out to such and such area, something like that. Like this place right here, you can see it looks like that's somewhere in the Grand Canyon. But when they do a hiking get together, you drive up there. Sometimes they'll do a van. Sometimes you can even take the lead and set up the situation. Maybe you can say, hey, us and 10 other people, you guys are also welcome to join us. We're going to go hike the wave over in Superstition Mountains, or we're going out to Canyon Lake to do some night kayaking. Some people were doing night kayaking, just, that's like a thing out here because it's so dang hot. It's like sweltering hot outside in the heat of the day. So they do meet and greet at 7 p.m. at Canyon Lake, night kayaking. And so that's a thing also out there. Another area that people go to meet people is meetup.com. Or Meetup, it's an app. You can download the app and you can start meeting people and seeing what's going on around you. You can look for joining a group. You can find an event. You can even start a group. So again, it's getting into situations where you feel comfortable, where you're not forcing the situation. So if you play softball, if you're into hiking, if you're into kayaking, if you're into camping, if you're into off-roading, whatever it is that you like to do, that's what you want to get yourself into, is situations where you're around like-minded people, because that's where you're going to make friends. And sometimes, it always starts out slow, right? So don't go in there expecting this person to be ready to unload all the information about your whole life. One of the things I think people do that scares people away is they talk about traumatic events or like exes or something like this way too soon. Like if you just got over some situation that was traumatic, grandma dying or not talking to your parents, save that for later. People don't need to know all your dirty laundry right up front. And I'm saying this because those are the kind of things that scare people away. So give it some time. Obviously come in normal, and then they can get to know you. Then they can know your skeletons in the closet. You don't have to air out all your dirty laundry talking about your crazy ex, crazy mother, crazy mother-in-law, whatever it is. So kind of just be yourself, of course, but you don't have to just start talking about everything about how, you overcame blah, 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 disease. And, this kind of scares people off. And I'm not trying to be judgmental or make you think that people are judgmental. It's just, that's heavy stuff to put on people you're just meeting. John B says, good to get involved in something. Yeah, you could get involved in hunting groups. You could get involved in so many different things. But if you're really serious about meeting people, go to these tours, do these guided tours, do these events where people are going out there. A lot of people say, oh, go to church. But church is it doesn't have to take place inside a building in some, where you have a book open. You can do that, okay? But I'm saying church is basically coming together, people having fun, healthy, hearty fun, right? And people say go to bars and meet people. Yeah, but going to bars and meeting people is not necessarily something you do to meet somebody, because that's just that's high risk behavior. But you go have sober fun, you go do an activity, and then, maybe that group says, hey, let's get together again next week. Where do you guys want to go? They'll say something like, oh, let's go to Bisbee. Let's go to Flagstaff. Let's go to Sedona. Let's go to Jerome. And that's when life starts to become fun. And then you all of a sudden get out there and you start having a real good time. But yeah, it is hard to make friends. Scott says it's hard to make friends past 30. Yeah, but I'm just sharing with you how I made friends while traveling alone. So I travel alone sometimes. Obviously, recently I've been traveling with a cameraman. But before that, when I would travel alone, it seemed like I was always making friends when I was going on tours. So if I would go on a tour, whether it be swimming with dolphins, going on a whale watching tour, because people are out there, they're kind of happy, they're like relaxing. It's kind of like an exclusive club, because people typically pay like $30, $40. And it's a safe environment. They're with a tour guide. The tour guide keeps everyone kind of cohesively together. And then, you make a friend. And at first, you might not even know that you're about to make friends with somebody, because you might not talk to them for the first 2 hours, except for a little bit of small chat like, hi, my name's Dave and I'm from Chicago. Or hi, my name's Jeff and I'm from Phoenix. So it might start out slow and then eventually pick up. Trey says, but you have to be very careful these days. Well, obviously, yeah, you have to be very careful these days. I mean, if I have to put out disclaimers for safety, I mean, that's a whole video all in of itself about environmental hazards with making friends with human beings. I mean, as crazy as that might sound in 2021, I guess you have to put that out there. But it's always, you don't want to start calling them over to your house and, but if you go on these groups, typically you're going to meet people who are, fairly decent people. We'll say that. How about that? I can't imagine it being that hard to make friends in the 5th largest city in the country. Oh, well, come on out here, Como, and see how you do, because people, it doesn't matter who they are. I mean, the people are really having a hard time making friends out here. I mean, I think it happens anywhere, but a city like Phoenix, which is a transient city where people come from all over. You get people from Chicago, you get people from Los Angeles, you get people from Washington State, from Florida, and they all kind of come together, and they're all coming from different areas, but they'll get along. It's just that, they're coming from different places, so it's kind of hard for them all to bond. That's the secret, bonding, right? But yeah, I mean, people are moving here, and how do I know that people are having a hard time meeting people? Because I have this channel here where people are constantly telling me, I like it, but I'm still trying to make friends. I want to make friends. I want to get to know more people, and I can't. Me personally, I can't just make myself available to every single subscriber on this channel or anything like that. So I'm just saying that's what it is. And someone said that they think that people suck. I don't think people suck necessarily. It's that the environments in which people are encountering each other are usually not cohesive or not fun environments. That's what it is. I mean, I've made friends sitting down at bars. I made friends at Phoenix Suns game here recently. Just sitting in the fans, we shared a common bond. We shared a common interest. The Phoenix Suns winning. You know what I'm saying? And then you say, hey, when's the next time you're going out? Right? Scott says, we did a night of drinking games at our house with our neighbors. It was great, direct neighbors and people we met through our community page. Yeah, so believe it or not, guys, Facebook has become a place for people to kind of get together. And usually it just starts with like a little casual conversation. You don't have, like I said, you don't have to go in there and just become best friends that same day or that same week or that same month. Give it some time to nurture the relationship. I think people have high expectations and then they let themselves down too fast. Like if someone doesn't want to hang out with you, don't get all discouraged and give up and say, well, nobody likes me, like Eeyore. You just kind of keep going at it, and then you just build a rapport with them, and then over time, when you guys are both available, you guys will keep building your friendship. So yeah, John, he hates Facebook, but that's one place that people can meet. There's plenty of other places people will get together. Thanks to 29 people who hit the like button. So now I'm going to turn it over to you guys to ask some questions and answer some questions. Tips for making couples, friends, BF, GF, husband, wife. What? Tips for making couples, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend. You mean how to meet people? How to meet? Well, people use dating sites for that. I mean, it's 2021. People use dating sites, or they just do it the old-fashioned way, where they go out and they go dancing. One of the ways that people meet out here, especially if you're trying to meet girls, girls love to dance, and they do these like country dancing things. So find out where the closest boot scooting boogie is. You could, if you're married and a couple, you could take your girl to go do that, or you just go there single and or with a couple buddies. You'll see there's tons of girls out there, and they're all waiting for you to kind of come up and say, grab my hand. That's what they want to do. They just want to dance. RVing is not for you, says Jim C. What? Other couples? How do you meet other couples? Probably the same way. I mean, you could probably, wine tasting tours. There's wine tasting tours that are really popular. I think with couples where they just go out there and maybe sometimes it doesn't hurt to start a group that's related to things that you like. So if you like to do wine tasting or cigars, I mean, they got a cigar bar out here in Desert Ridge. You just go to the cigar bar. There's going to be people in there that share a common interest in cigars. I don't really like smoking cigars. I don't like smoking anything really. I want a Native American man. Where are they at? Native American guys, they're out there. Probably look on a dating app. I mean, or go out to the Native American reservation where they got the casinos. So, someone said, stay away from dating sites, too many kooks. So you guys get the idea. Like I said, I'll take some more chats here, and then we'll see where we're at. If we have 40 likes, keep hitting the likes, and I'll keep going. But someone said swingers clubs. I don't know if they even have those anymore. I don't even know where you start to get one of those. Some people go to, get into guns. I mean, these are the things that people do, right? There's hiking, there's off-roading, there's hunting, there's guns. People just like to shoot guns, gun clubs. Even today, I was looking at the American Legion. There's the VFW. I mean, there's all these different clubs that exist, thank God, because if there wasn't these clubs, how would people really meet? Because most of the time, people don't make friends with the people they work with because they're usually like, after work, I don't want to associate with the people they work with. Unless they're in a really good situation and they they're a truck driver and they both are delivery drivers and they both hit it off and they're like, you're cool, we're cool, let's go hang out. Getting a real job. Nowadays, most people are working virtual, so it's gotten even harder, more difficult for people to make friends. So it's kind of interesting out there what's going on. People say they can't meet anyone, but sometimes it's because they stay home and don't go out. No one is going to come knock at your door. Well, yeah, I mean, but one of the things I've noticed you can't put someone down and then expect them to go move mountains and do great things, because really when someone's already kind of like depressed and feeling downtrodden, I know you want to come in there and start grab yourself, pick yourself up by the bootstraps. That's the first thing that I've always done, because that's how everyone always did me. But really kind of just showing them a different way, sometimes grabbing their hand and leading them a little bit, or lead the horse to the water, hope they'll drink. Sometimes if you're too tough on them, they'll keep going deeper into their depression if you say something like that. Take it from me, someone who is the guy who would say something like that, where I just noticed that wasn't really getting changes by telling someone, grab yourself by the bootstraps and do it. It works for some people. It works for me. You tell me, grab myself by the bootstraps, I'm like, okay, all right, that sounds like a challenge. But not everybody's got that kind of approach, or that doesn't motivate everybody. Coworkers can be your friends. I mean, it seems like, actually, if I look back on it, most of my friends I usually worked with. But like I said, nowadays people are doing these virtual environments, and then these companies, they do these virtual parties. I guess kind of like what we have going on here, like a virtual online party. But the thing is, you don't get to actually be in their presence, so it's a little bit different. But it can be fun. I mean, but you want to go out and make friends. I mean, that's what I would do. Worst place to make friends equals work. Well, there you go, says AS. Men need to be more assertive. Women bite at that. Yeah, I think the thing with men being more assertive is definitely a good comment. Although there is that thing that's being passed around by some of the politicians or whatever, that there's this toxic masculinity where if a man's too aggressive or something like that, he can get himself in trouble. So some men are now kind of not as aggressive as they once were, because they think that they're going to get in trouble if they say something, or do something, or, so if women really want men to be aggressive, they're going to have to tell all those women who are telling the men to calm down, to not necessarily ask for men to, because if you want assertive men, you have to kind of create that environment, right? But right now it's kind of scary for men to be assertive and be dominant, because the current environment we're living in, men aren't sure if they're going to get in trouble if they just say, hey, you're beautiful, then she's going to say, hey, he hit on me, I didn't want that. So maybe 20 years ago that kind of stuff could have worked, but we'll see. Blake says he needs a drinking buddy. Yeah, drinking buddies are good. I mean, especially when they're not violent. Like when you hang out with somebody and they drink and they're violent, that's no fun. Donna says, I've been here since January, don't work, met some great people in my development. Yeah, I mean, people are meeting people in their neighborhood. Even these apartments that I moved into, they do these get-togethers. So if you're really hard-pressed to meet people, these apartments, these communities, these neighborhoods, these developments, they're getting together. And I mean, you could even meet your neighbors by going to a homeowner association meeting. So maybe homeowner association meetings aren't necessarily the worst thing ever. Rosa says, too many dad bods all over. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. I'm trying not to get my dad bod. I mean, I'm 38 years old. I'm like, if you don't get out there and exercise enough, it can catch up on you real quick. First lady says, yeah, dating sites stay away. They lie pictures when they were younger. I mean, I've had conversations with ladies who were on dating sites who didn't necessarily have too much positive to say about the situation. So, anyways, just wanted to make this video. Hope this helps give you guys some ideas. Like I said, just in summary, if you guys are just joining on, make yourself available when you get invited. Try to go with the flow. Obviously, be careful. Practice common sense. But Facebook has a lot of different groups. Arizona hiking group, like I showed you here. There's Arizona adventure group. There's several different hunting groups. Arizona camping, Arizona RVing. So people are making contacts, at least on there, and they do meetups. And then there's that app, meetup.com. And then, there's other ways to find information, like going on to this personal excellence website, 10 tips to making friends. Realize your fear is in your head. Start small start small with people you know. Like I said earlier, don't start unloading all your skeletons in your closet and your dirty laundry to people you're just meeting. Like, don't tell them your grandma just died, your dog just died. Don't unload your baggage onto people, because when you're first starting to get to know people, that can actually push them away. Let them get to know you, let them know the real you, and then start telling them about some of the things that have happened to you in your life that made you who you are. Get yourself out there, like I was telling you guys earlier. You just got to get out there, right? Like online communities is probably where most people are meeting up, but there's join meetup groups on meetup.com. We just talked about that. Volunteering, volunteer at the church, volunteer at some, if that's your thing. If you feel like you're a person who's got compassion and you like to give, you're going to meet other people who are also like that, right? Take the first step. Sometimes people are too shy, so sometimes just saying hi, hello, smile. Hello and smiling are really good things to do. Be open-minded, don't judge. I think people are so quick to judge. That's one of the things that gets everyone, I think a lot of people in trouble, is being quick to judge, including myself. I mean, I could find out many times I've been quick to judge in my own mind, and then find out, hey, that person, I was like, man, that's like my new best friend. Like, how many of you have made friends, really good friends or acquaintances with somebody that you were judging at first? So that just goes to show you that don't be so quick to judge. It says open your heart, get to know the person, ask them questions. Sometimes asking questions and not always doing all the talking can be a friendly gesture, getting to know what they do, letting them know what their hobbies are, what they've been up to recently. These are things that you could say to somebody. What do they value? Obviously doing it in a natural way, not an unnatural way. Connect with genuinity. Or you want to be genuine, right? I don't even know if that's a word, genuinity. Be yourself. Be there for them. So sometimes you can end up in a situation with a neighbor, for example, where you're like, hey, yes, neighbor, you can borrow my weed whacker. Yes, you can borrow my lawnmower. And then, they're like, can I borrow your shovel? Can I borrow your cheese? Can I borrow your butter? And you're like, you know what? You borrowed 5 things from me, and I haven't borrowed anything from you. So then you maybe pay it back. You say, you know what? Hey, can I get a 12-pack of beer out of your fridge? Something like that. I don't know. You'll see. You'll know. You'll figure it out. Also, guys, I'm going to be on Island Hopper TV. I'm going to be heading out. Guess where I'm going? Alaska. I told you guys I was going to Alaska. So Alaska's coming up, but I'm not going to go fly from Phoenix to Alaska straight up. I'm going to kind of city hop my way up. I'm going to go from here to San Francisco. From San Francisco, I'm going to ride the train through you guys' favorite place, Portland, Oregon. I know you guys love Portland. And then all the way up into Seattle, another one of your favorite places. But I'm going to go up there, and then probably from Seattle I'll fly to Juneau and go check out Mendenhall Glacier. It's just way too hot down here right now, so definitely check out Island Hopper TV. I did pin a link to the top of the page here if you guys want to see Island Hopper TV. We already did some videos here, but that's probably where I'm going to be going here in the next week or so. Actually, I'm going to be up there for a little bit. I'll try to do some Arizona content while I'm up there. But just wanted to let you guys know that's where I'm headed, is Alaska. I've never been up there, so I'm pretty excited about that. Vancouver, I would like to check out Vancouver. You're talking about Vancouver, Washington, because Vancouver, British Columbia, unfortunately, is still closed because the Canadians they think the Americans got COVID or something. Who knows? Yeah, Portland. I don't know. I'm kind of like, is it okay to go to Portland right now? But we'll see. I don't know about Portland, but hey, I never have been a big fan of Portland. I've been up there like 3 times. It's always cloudy, overcast, but some of the areas around Oregon can get really green and nice. Probably this time of year, it might be actually a really nice time to go up to Oregon. Seattle and San Diego have the coolest temps. San Francisco, I was looking at it's going to be 60s next week in San Francisco, so I was like, ooh, wow, that's kind of cold for the summertime. Someone said they want to go to Portland to see their uncle range too much. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to make this quick video and hope this helps out somebody. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks to everyone who hit the like button. See y'all.